I'm going to play something very interesting for you today. It's delusional, it's deranged, it's backwards, as much of the American right wing is, but it opens up a very interesting conversation. A Republican candidate for governor, Mark Robinson, who happens to be black, and this is very relevant to what we're going to hear from him, is in favor of reparations, but not the kind you might think of. What Mark Robinson says he wants for reparations is black people should give white people reparations as a thank you for ending slavery. Yes. Now, I know you're saying, wait, but David, that doesn't make sense for so many different reasons. Of course. But let's first listen to what he had to say in its full ridiculous glory, and then we will talk about it.
There are some people that were talking about reparations in this country. They wanted reparations. And I remember I made this particular liberal so angry at me because I told them right to their face, nobody owes you anything for slavery. If you want to tell the truth about it, it is you who owes. It's you who owes.
Whoa.
Why do you owe? Because somebody in those fields took stripes for you. Somebody, after those fields were ended and slavery was ended, somebody had to walk through Jim Crow for you. Somebody fought wars and died for you. Somebody lived less than because they didn't have what you have, and they did it for you. There are people in their graves right now, and they are there because they were willing to stand up and fight for you. Those folks on the Edmund Pettus Bridge carrying American flags, take that, Colin Kaepernick, living in a society that he could scarcely acknowledge, something that he has never known, living with a bigotry that none of us can imagine.
Right.
Carried American flags on that bridge. And when they were hit upside the head with nightsticks and shot with water hoses and knocked to the ground, they got up and picked those flags up and kept marching.
All right. So I guess he's saying not only do black people today owe white people reparations, they also owe earlier black folks who are no longer alive reparations, which is weird. So this is unreal stuff. And this is what happens when you just become a contrarian for the sake of contrarianism. Now, I think that there are perfectly reasonable critiques about reparations, and we've talked about them before. You can come down on either side as far as reparations go. But the idea that black people owe white people money for freeing them from slavery, ignoring that they were the ones enslaving the black folks to begin with, is really something else. It's like asking for praise for putting out a fire that you started. And the other important thing to remember is that many white people, including the slave owners, didn't want to end slavery. He's sort of pretending like, listen, white people ended slavery, so you should thank them. No. A whole bunch of white people did not want to end slavery, and they lost the Civil War over that. It's a wacky argument to make. And by the way, even after slavery was legally abolished, we still saw black folks facing segregation of all kinds, discrimination, oppression in the form of Jim Crow laws, systemic racism, and so much of that legacy that we followed through hundreds of years. This is really wild. And I'll be totally honest with you. I don't even know if Robinson genuinely believes this. This is the virus, the mind virus of contrarianism, of if anybody on the left is suggesting X, then I need to make clear that the opposite of X is actually what we need. I don't know whether this is going to win him the governorship or what, but it is unreal to see them saying these things out loud. And what's even crazier is people in the crowd who decide to clap for it. This country has fallen very, very far.